Good morning, everyone. Skidmore is a college which has always placed special value on the bold, the daring, and the future, but we also honor the past. In this spirit, we begin today's ceremony with the words of Skidmore's first president, Charles Henry Keyes, which were part of his remarks to the graduating class of 1923. The courage that all your college experience has built into you finally determines the worth of your training. Education brings convictions, but unless it brings also the courage of those convictions, it is but dangerous equipment. To have the unfaltering, uncompromising courage of saying, logical conviction is the crowning glory of the life of an educated person. Please join me now in a moment of silence as we honor the courageous women and men who have made Skidmore the remarkable place it is today. Let us also consider ways in which each of us can work to sustain the noble and courageous tradition of those before us. Thank you.
I know it looks a bit inclement outside, but let me tell you something. I think the sun is shining on all of you here today. President Glotzbach, members of the class of 2018 and your families, faculty, distinguished guests, and friends. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Skidmore College, I want to warmly welcome you to the 107th commencement of this extraordinary institution. During a full slate of board meetings this past week, one very special agenda item stood out among all the others: the vote by the Skidmore Board to confer 672 degrees upon this graduating class. As trustees, we take this vote very seriously, knowing full well the effort, determination, and commitment you have made to realize this moment. We are all here today to celebrate you and your academic accomplishments, and to acknowledge your transition to the next chapters of your lives. Be joyful today. Celebrate all that you have accomplished, and savor every second of this experience. I've been blessed to be a part of these commencement exercises now for 7 years, and each year I marvel at the special energy and excitement this occasion provides. It is, however, an end in many ways. You will say farewell to friends and faculty. You will leave behind those routines you have grown accustomed to. You will relinquish those special places on campus where you spent time with friends, laughing and sharing experiences. Those special places where you also worked hard on a solution to a complex problem, or to thoroughly understand an author's thinking, or to finish a piece of art, or perform a piece of music brilliantly and with passion. Though those experiences at Skidmore are behind you now, it is what lies ahead that is most exciting and should have your hearts pounding. For more than an end to your Skidmore days, this is also an important beginning. The future is, of course, an unknown, and with that can come fear and uncertainty. We are all human. You have every reason, however, to push all that out of the way, and you should. You are about to become Skidmore graduates, well-educated, thoughtful, open-minded, and driven. Be courageous out there. Skidmore has provided you with a very strong foundation that will allow you to face the next set of challenges with confidence. You'll hear shortly from our honorary degree recipients who are enormously accomplished, each in their own individual ways. Listen closely to their messaging, and I know you will gain from their wisdom. You own your accomplishments today, but it's important to also remember those that helped you achieve this success. Whether a parent, a family member, a professor, or a special friend, they made a difference in your success. So take the time to look them in the eye, to give them a hug, and say thank you. It's also important to recognize that your experience and participation in the Skidmore community has helped you grow over the last few years, whether in the classroom, on the playing fields, in the science labs, at the Tang or Zankel. Skidmore has helped ready you for what's next. And what happens next, of course, is up to you. But you should feel confident as you go forward today that you have all the tools to help yourself become a success and to help shape the world to be a better home for all of us. Last, I want to ask you to think about your own integrity, your own character, the value of your own word. The world's challenges grow ever more complex, and it is often a challenge these days to navigate through the fog of what is truth and what is not. One way to begin to steer out of that mist is for you to engage with this world. Listen to not one side of an argument, but all sides. Then form your opinions and stand by your convictions. Be truthful with yourselves and with others, and you will shape our future in a very positive way. Finally, I hope that in the years ahead you will reflect on this special moment, on this special day, and smile. We wish all of you good luck and great success in the future. And please remember to come back and see us. Thank you.
Good morning. It is a beautiful day. So let me add my own greetings to parents, family members, trustees, members of the faculty, honored guests in attendance here today at this celebratory event. Above all, to the members of the Skidmore class of 2018, heartfelt congratulations. You've just heard from Mr. Scott McGraw, Chair of Skidmore's Board of Trustees. Many other trustees and members of our alumni board are here with us today, and I would like us to pause just a moment to acknowledge them for all the many kinds of service and support that they provide to the college. So let's acknowledge them, please. And heck, I'm just glad you're here. I mean, what a dilemma. Royal wedding, commencement, royal wedding. You made the right choice. We invest significant transitional moments in our lives in visible symbols. In addition to the American flag, there are 26 other national flags arrayed on the stage on either side, representing the homelands of those graduating seniors who have traveled far to learn with us and who in turn have enhanced the Skidmore community with their presence and their perspectives. And I would add that for the members of the class of 2018, collectively, you have studied abroad in 50 different countries. The bagpipers who led you graduating seniors into the opening convocation in September of your first year at the college reappear today to herald your final moments as Skidmore students. And then at the end of this ceremony, they will lead you out into your new lives as Skidmore alumni. 4 years ago at that opening convocation, those of you seniors who were new first-year students wore green class t-shirts with 2018 in red numerals. Those shirts signaled both the bonds you would soon establish with your classmates and the goal of completing a course of studies that would lead you to this day. Now, 4 years later, your academic robe and accompanying flourishes serve as outward signs of your hard-won accomplishments. I hope that each of you is proud of what your cap, gown, stole, honor cords say about what you have done and who you are. And by the way, those gowns are made of recycled materials. One more sign of our commitment to sustainability. Those of us on stage wear our own academic robes to commemorate 9 centuries of historical connection reaching back to the medieval university, and to signify as well that we too have made journeys similar to yours. This is your moment of transition, triumph, and no doubt some trepidation, but you can take a measure of encouragement from the fact that we and countless others have traveled this path ahead of you. Over the past 4 years, you graduates have spent a good deal of time working hard to learn things, working hard to be able to say, I know. If we've done our jobs well, you in fact have learned a good deal. While you aren't yet experts in some field, you certainly have gained some expertise. And you are well positioned to build on that achievement, to develop that specific knowledge further over the coming years, or to master a new area of expertise in a job or a graduate school or professional school. You are well positioned, as Scott McGraw said. Several years ago, the Skidmore faculty unanimously adopted a statement outlining our goals for student learning and development. The final goal of this ambitious statement is that you develop an enduring passion for learning, and that passion will serve you well as you seek those new levels of expertise in your professional life. But this passion for learning is equally important for us as citizens of a democracy in which we are all called upon to participate in the informal political dialogue that leads to being an informed, responsible citizen. This goal seems especially significant today, not just for you, but for all of us, as you enter a world that is marked by so many troubling social attitudes towards knowledge itself. Heather K. Gerken, a professor of law and dean of the Yale Law School, recently commented that we are at a strange moment in our political history when facts, evidence, and expertise are all under attack. The slide from truthiness to fake news has been lightning quick. We live in a time when expertise is not just challenged, it's become grounds for doubt. That's the end of her quote. As Dean Gerken says, we do seem to be living in a world in which faith in both expertise and those social institutions whose job it is to create knowledge, most notably news media and colleges and universities, has come under challenge. It's been significantly eroded. It has become fashionable to distrust sources of information that in previous times would have been accorded much higher regard. Over the recorded history of Western thought, various philosophers have embraced projects of radical skepticism, trying to reject all those beliefs except for those few that have some immovable foundation, what the writer G.K. Chesterton called the floor of the universe. Descartes is one notable example of someone who took up this project. He failed miserably. He did, in part because he found it impossible to doubt not only a set of theological beliefs about God, but in fact the meanings of the words he used to construct his epistemological project. The 20th century American philosopher W.V.O. Quine pointed out that it is possible in principle to question any element in the web of beliefs that we use to understand the world, but it is not possible to question all of them at once. To say this more positively, it's only possible to raise questions, to entertain doubts, against a background of unquestioned certainty. The problem we encounter today with society's skepticism regarding previously respected sources of knowledge is that we are forced to place our faith in something, and that something has increasingly become a certain set of political commentators or regions of the internet, whatever, that simply reinforce what we already believe. This phenomenon is well known. It doesn't require further comment here. But the question is, what are we to do about it? How can we live and think responsibly in our faithless world? Let me make 3 points in response to this question that are suggested by another of Skidmore's goals for student learning and development. And that one says that our students learn to embrace intellectual integrity, humility, and courage. First, I hope that over your time at Skidmore, you have become more aware than perhaps you were at an earlier stage of life, that we all are responsible for what we believe. We own our thoughts. We own the conclusions we draw from them and the judgments we make about one another and about the world. This realization is one of the cornerstones of liberal education, that free persons are in charge of what they think. But this turns out to be a pretty heavy responsibility, and it's one that many people work pretty hard to deny or avoid. This realization is the foundation of intellectual integrity. Let me put this point more concretely. Each of us is responsible for seeking information, knowing where that information comes from and how it's produced, and deciding which claims to accept. For example, has your primary news source ever fired a reporter for having gotten the facts terribly wrong without acknowledging the error, or for having simply made up a story? And do you have the intellectual integrity to admit it when some cherished belief you have held runs up against a set of inconvenient, contrary facts? I hope so. Second, intellectual humility comes from the realization that we are not perfect knowers, that all of us, in fact, have been wrong on so many occasions. Another 20th century philosopher, Ludwig Wittgenstein, one of the great names in philosophy, once wrote that one always forgets the expression, "I thought I knew." Mark Twain expressed this same point a bit more colorfully. He said, "It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so." Remembering those times when one was absolutely certain that some belief was true, an idea that later turned out to be false, can give one the intellectual humility to be more open to alternative beliefs, to what other people are thinking and saying. That humility helps us enter into what Michael Patrick Lynch called the common space where we can listen to each other and trade reasons back and forth, a space that is essential for a functioning democracy. We have to recreate that space today. We began this ceremony talking about courage, and intellectual courage is the last point that I want to talk about. Skidmore's first president, Charles Henry Keyes, said those words to the graduating class of 1923, that education brings convictions, but unless it also brings the courage of those convictions, it is but dangerous equipment. His point is that after you've considered the thoughts of others, after you've acknowledged that you've been wrong before, you still need to decide what you do in fact believe. And you need to own that decision. And having done so, you need to have the courage to let others know what you believe, even if what you're thinking turns out to be unpopular. And even more importantly, you need to act on your beliefs, to act on those beliefs. When we say creative thought matters, we mean in part that unless you make your creative thought material, unless you put it into practice in the world, it remains just an idea in your head. And to put our ideas into practice often does require courage. So those are my three wishes for you as you head off into your post-Skidmore lives, that you embrace intellectual integrity, humility, and courage. And if you can carry those three gifts from your Skidmore education with you, you will be well-equipped to chart your course through our faithless world, not just to survive, but to leave your mark on it and to help you make it a better place for everyone. And we need to make it a better place for everyone. Let me just say that we gather here in joy where other folks in other parts of the country are not doing that. They're gathering in sorrow because of another school shooting. And we just have to acknowledge that we need collectively as a country to work so that we never take that as a normal situation. That is part of the world that you graduating seniors need to help us make change. So I hope you will do that. Seniors, I salute you for the work that you have done, and I thank you for your contributions to the college and for your kind attention today. Thank you. It is the privilege of a great liberal arts college to acknowledge the extraordinary contributions of certain individuals by awarding to them honorary degrees, and we do so today.
Alison Bechdel, cartoonist, memoirist, author, activist. Soon after graduating from Oberlin College in the early 80s, you began the famously long-running comic strip, Dykes to Watch Out For. For 25 years, this comic strip gave us thoughtful, humor-filled stories and vividly drawn illustrations of lesbian life, feminism, and other social and political subjects. Dykes to Watch Out For depicts a cast of multifaceted, lovable characters their day-to-day trials and tribulations and pursuit of relationships and community. The series would become so popular, it would be anthologized in collective volumes. In 2001, Ms. Magazine called it not only the, quote, preeminent cartoon record of modern lesbian feminist history, end quote, but also, quote, one of the preeminent oeuvres in the comics genre, period, end quote. You've also published 2 graphic memoirs. In 2006, you published Fun Home. Subtitled A Family Tragicomic, the work depicts your revelations about your own sexuality as well as your father's and explores difficult family dynamics and coping with death and loss. Fun Home became a New York Times bestseller and was even turned into a Tony Award-winning musical in 2015. You followed this highly successful graphic memoir with the second one in 2012 called Are You My Mother? Again, you centered emotionally complex relationships in your family. Your creative contributions were recognized when you received the prestigious MacArthur Fellowship, known popularly as the MacArthur Genius Grant, in 2014. And finally, I would be remiss if I failed to note that you popularized the widely used Bechdel or Bechdel-Wallace test. This test, which originated in one of your early Dykes to Watch Out for comic strips, gave us a feminist metric to analyze films. The 3 criteria are: 1, a film has to have at least 2 women in it, who 2, talk to each other, about 3, something besides a man. Through your storytelling and your boundless creativity, you have offered us both joyous entertainment and incisive social commentary in equal measure. President Glotzbach, it is my honor to present Alison Bechdel for the degree of Doctor of Letters.
Alison Bechdel, groundbreaking and acclaimed graphic artist, author, memoirist, playwright, you have explored complex and compelling ideas of identity and society. As a creative storyteller, you have expanded the reach of literature and reaffirmed the beauty to be found across the diverse landscape of humanity. By virtue of the authority of the state of New York, vested by the regents and the trustees of Skidmore College and by them delegated to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, and declare you fully entitled to all of the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Dean Moore will invest you with a hood that symbolizes your degree, and it is my pleasure to present you with your diploma.
I'm going to put this over your head, okay? There we go. I'm going to fix it up a little.
We'll take that back so you don't have to hold it. Dr. Bechdel, I invite you to address your fellow graduates.
Hi, Dr. Bechdel, I like that. Thank you. Hi, Skidmore graduates. Congratulations, what an amazing day. I'm very honored to be here. This is such a trip. I had a very hard time figuring out what to talk about today. I think in a commencement speech you're supposed to have advice for people, but since I generally avoid taking other people's advice, it didn't seem quite right to dole it out. And I kept remembering my own college commencement experience, but I resisted that as a topic to talk about because it just seemed too personal and particular somehow. But I kept coming back to that story, and finally, I just had to face it. This is what I do. I'm a memoirist. I tell embarrassingly personal stories. Why should I stop now? So in the first place, I remember nothing of the speeches at my own commencement. I have no idea who the main speaker even was. And actually, that is not a particular experience. I think that's a fairly universal experience. None of you are going to remember a word of this, I guarantee it. But what I do remember about my commencement is that my parents were not there. My father had just died the previous summer, and my mother was juggling so many things that she just couldn't make the trip. And on top of that, I had just failed to get into the 3 graduate programs I had applied to. And I had no idea what I was going to do when I left campus the next day. So that was a pretty sad state of affairs. But while on some level I'm sure I was sad, for the most part I felt excited. I felt freed up. No one was going to be watching me. No one would have any expectations of me. No one would need me to perform in any particular way. I was utterly on my own. And that emboldened me to do something I never would have done otherwise. Earlier that semester, my friend Matthew and I found this beautiful men's suit, this 1960s men's suit at a yard sale. And we both tried it on, and the jacket fit us both perfectly. And somehow I managed to convince Matthew that I was the true rightful heir of this suit, because it was more remarkable that it fit me than that it fit him. So he let me have it. And there really did seem to be something magical about that suit, like in a fairy tale. Like the pants fit perfectly too, and when I had the whole thing on, it just seemed to confer this supernatural feeling of confidence. I had no idea where I was going to wear this thing, because it was a very different time. It was almost as taboo in 1981 for a woman to wear a men's suit as it still is for a man to wear a dress. So I put it in my closet, and I figured, I don't know, maybe I'd get to wear it to a costume party sometime. But then it was time to graduate, and my family wasn't going to be there. So I thought, okay, let's do it. We didn't have to wear caps and gowns at my school. Only about half the students chose to wear them, and everyone else just wore their street clothes. So I put on a nice shirt and one of my father's neckties that I'd kept, and I went to commencement in the magic suit. And I would absolutely not have had the nerve to do this in front of my mother or my aunt or my grandmother. But on my own, I did. And I felt pretty cool. I was curious to see how I looked. And of course, this was way before we all took 1,000 pictures a day. No one had a camera. But I knew there was an official photographer there taking pictures of everyone as they crossed the stage to get their diploma. So I was very eager to get that official photo. But when it finally arrived a few weeks later, it was of some blonde woman in a cap and gown. I was so disappointed. I figured they just couldn't reconcile my female name with a picture of what probably looked to them like a young man. So they just sent the picture of the next girl in line, I guess. But now I'm kind of glad there's no picture, because it just adds to the mythic quality of the whole experience. But here, at last, is my point for you. The freedom that I felt at that commencement day carried over into what I did next in my life, which was to start writing a comic strip called Dykes to Watch Out For a feminist newspaper for free, which was so not a responsible career decision. I feel very lucky, because in the end it all seemed to work out. I mean, here I am getting an honorary degree. I guess it's okay. But at the time, it was far from clear that that would be the case. If my family hadn't fallen apart that year, I'm sure I would have gone on to grad school or gotten some respectable job. I would absolutely not have become a cartoonist, which would have been sad, because it turns out that's what I was good at. So my message today is not that you should go do something crazy like become a shepherd or a cartoonist just to freak your parents out. But I am saying maybe it's worth thinking about what you might possibly be doing differently if no one was watching. Because the job of creating positive change in the world is such hard work. It will just go a lot better if you really enjoy what you're doing, and if it's something that you yourself are particularly suited to do. That wasn't an intentional pun, suited, but I liked it so much I left it in. So that's it. That's as close as I will come to giving you advice. And if you do decide to become a shepherd, please don't blame me. Congratulations to all of you. I look very forward to seeing what you will accomplish in this difficult but also quite amazing world. Thank you.
Robert Higgins, cardiothoracic surgeon, educator, researcher, innovator, and leader. You were inspired by your father, the first African-American physician to establish a family medical practice in Charleston, South Carolina, to pursue your career in medicine. You grew up locally in Albany, graduated with a bachelor's degree from Dartmouth, a medical degree from Yale, and hold a master's degree in health services administration from Virginia Commonwealth. You've served as a major in the U.S. Army Reserve Medical Corps, the surgical director of thoracic organ transplantation at Henry Ford Hospital, the director of the thoracic surgery resident program in the Department of Cardiovascular Thoracic Surgery at Rush Medical College, the chief of the cardiac surgery division at The Ohio State, and in your current role as a surgeon-in-chief, William Stewart Halstead Professor of Surgery and the director of the Department of Surgery at the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine.
Yeah.
Your scientific curiosity and leadership skills have rendered you a leading authority in heart and lung transplantation, minimally invasive cardiac surgery, and mechanical circulatory support. You led the surgical team that performed the first lung transplant in Southeast Michigan. You created a Medicare-approved lung transplant program and pediatric heart transplant program at the Children's Hospital of Michigan. Your research, over 100 peer-reviewed publications and 13 book chapters, span your wide-ranging interests, from the mechanisms of cellular injury and failing hearts, to health economics and health policy, to racial disparities in post-transplant outcomes. And you have broken barriers. You are the first African-American chair of a department at Johns Hopkins University. You have established an endowed memorial lectureship in honor of Dr. Levi Watkins, Jr., the first African-American chief resident in cardiac surgery at Johns Hopkins. And through your teaching and mentorship of young physicians, you are actively working to increase the racial and ethnic diversity amongst the next generation of medical and surgical leaders in order to decrease the disparity in access to quality health care within our country. President Glotzbach, it is my honor to present Dr. Robert Higgins for the degree of Doctor of Laws.
Robert Higgins, you have a great list of titles. Highly accomplished cardiothoracic surgeon, educator, researcher, innovator, and leader. Through your research, you have pushed back the bounds of both knowledge and practice in the life-saving areas of heart and lung transplantation and cardiac surgery. But you do not just work to repair hearts, you also have an empathic heart for your patients, your colleagues and your surgery teams, and for young people who can be inspired by your personal story of resilience and leadership. By virtue of the authority of the state of New York, vested by the regents and the trustees of Skidmore College and by them delegated to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, and declare you fully entitled to all of the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Dean Moore will invest you with the hood that symbolizes your degree, and it is my pleasure to present you with your diploma.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you. I'll hold that for you here. But, thank you.
Fix it a little bit. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Higgins, I invite you to address your classmates.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm humbled and honored to join you in this celebration and recognition of perseverance, academic distinction, and accomplishment. Congratulations, graduating class of 2018 and the other honorees. When I received President Gottschalk's invitation to speak and to receive a degree, I immediately asked myself, what will I say? Can I say anything of lasting value or impact on such an important day? I've attended many commencement addresses, as most of us have, and as we heard from Alison, and I can't remember most of them, including my own. So I asked my kids, John, Grace, and Grant, and they responded in typical fashion. They want you? Why? Don't talk too long and don't embarrass us. And don't cry. Probably pretty good advice. I don't want to end up on YouTube as one of those most boring or worst ever commencement dresses, right? Now, my wife recommended that I talk about one of her favorite movies, Invictus, regarding the South African rugby team who went on to victory against incredible odds with the endorsement and support of Nelson Mandela. Before the championship game, the Springbok team visited Robben Island, where Mandela spent the first 18 of his 27 years in jail. There, the team was inspired by Mandela's will and his idea of self-discipline in Invictus. They marveled that Mandela could spend 30 years in a tiny cell and come out ready to forgive the people who put him there. Invictus in Latin means unconquered, and it's referred to in a poem from the late 19th century by the English author William Henny. The speaker in the poem proclaims his strength in the face of adversity. My head is bloodied, but unbowed. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. So I guess the point of these speeches is more about trying to briefly connect with a mostly captive audience and a group of very proud parents who are about to embark on the next chapter of their lives. I hope that my journey in some way will provide some value, particularly in these crazy times when those of us who are in the minority have to wonder if we have a place in this crazy world. I grew up about 30 minutes from here in downtown Albany as one of 3 African-American boys in a single-family home, raised by my mother, my grandparents, and extended family. My mother met my dad in Nashville while he was in medical school in the 1950s. The only place, or one of only a few places, where African Americans could get a medical education at that time. After serving in the Navy, during which time I was born, they moved back to Charleston, South Carolina, where my dad was to start one of the first medical practices in the segregated South. As my mom tells it, life was good. It was really good. And then on January 19th, 1964, it all came crashing down. My dad was killed in a car accident by someone who ran a stop sign. He had no life insurance because he was going to live forever, and widowed my mom with their 3 boys, ages 5, 3, and 1. A devastating loss for sure. We moved back to Albany, and the rest is history. My brothers and I were hellraisers as young men. But we were raised in a nurturing environment where discipline, academic excellence, and service to community above self were regular dinner table conversation. My mom knew the 3 African-American boys would benefit from a structured secondary education. So we were enrolled in a private military prep school, the Albany Academy. It worked. With that background, my brothers and I went to distinguished colleges and have had successful careers in medicine, law, and banking. I'm not sure we truly understood or embraced the importance of the opportunities that were provided for us. But it's clear that our home environment created opportunities for young African Americans, men in particular, to learn and to mature in a world that required so much more of us. At an early age, we learned that life is a series of hurdles that can and must be navigated. Although challenged at all times, my mom's perspective was that we've been given so much through our loss that God had blessed us. Hard to imagine her perspective in this situation, but these are the lessons that I'm sure many of you can appreciate. They may even be similar to your life story. Common themes that resonate and will serve as important foundations for professional life, gaining through losing. Now, my intention is not to bring you down or make you feel bad on this extraordinary day. Today is the start of an incredible journey as you embark on your career. I hope that you will find in the final analysis that no matter where you come from, no matter what circumstances brought you here, that you have the potential to do some fantastic things. And the guiding principles that take you from this point forward, perseverance, hard work, and family, will lead you to be true to yourself, your family, and your community. And above all else, you'll have the chance to follow your passion. We need you and your generation to be unconquered and have an impact. Make a difference in this crazy world. We are depending on you. I also hope that you'll give thanks to those incredible families, especially the mothers and grandmothers and dads too, for helping you get here. You don't know how lucky you are until you don't have them at your side or behind you supporting you. So please say thank you to your families. Today, I stand before you as a 59-year-old father of 3 great kids and a husband to an extraordinary wife who tolerates a crazy life. I met my wife as an ICU nurse, one of the true benefits of spending long hours in the hospital. She taught me the rules of the ICU early in my training, and she hasn't stopped training me since that time. Talk about lifetime of education. I'm a cardiothoracic surgeon who serves as the director of surgery at Johns Hopkins. This is no routine assignment, as I've come to learn. I feel honored to have the opportunity. It's my privilege and my right as well. My leadership role notwithstanding, my day job is also as the director of the Heart and Lung Transplant Program. In this hectic, crazy, out of control, stressful world of transplantation, individual accomplishments are overshadowed by the efforts of individuals who function collectively as a team. I certainly have the best job in the world, and I'm fortunate to work in a field, organ donation and transplantation, where dozens of individuals work side by side, often in the middle of the night, behind the scenes to facilitate the ultimate gift of life. It is one of the most unique times in human endeavor, when a tragic loss of a loved one from a devastating neurologic injury can be turned into a modern medical miracle. Through the courageous act of donation of a loved one's organs, 8 to 10 people may receive a life-enhancing or life-saving organ transplant. I wish you all could observe or even experience this miracle just once. If the act of donation isn't enough, wait until the transplant. When you take the heart out of the igloo cooler and remove it from the ice, it is a lifeless, inanimate muscle. But once it is implanted and reperfused with life's blood, it starts beating spontaneously. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I get goosebumps every time it happens. It's an unbelievable event that surely signals that there is a God who guides all the work that we do. Extraordinary gains in life through the loss of a loved one. So as I conclude my comments, I want to thank you again for the opportunity to come home and share reflections about my journey from being just a twinkle in my parents' eyes to my current role. I've been the beneficiary of many influential mentors and role models, too many to mention today. But we are all aware of the impact of a great role model, Dr. Martin Luther King. Many are unaware that as Martin Luther King spoke about the end of his mortal life on February 4th, 1968, at Ebenezer Baptist Church, he lifted up the value of service as the hallmark of a full and productive life. And he said that night, in quotations, "I'd like someone to mention on that day that Martin Luther King died to give his life serving others." So as I reflect about this very gracious invitation, and thank you for this great day, I hope that you might remember just a little of what we shared. Cherish and respect yourself and your health your family, and your loved ones, because they will sustain you through good times and bad. Enjoy your life to the fullest, living each day to the max, because nothing is guaranteed to any of us. Be a leader by your actions, by your words. Define your dream, align those around you with that vision, and motivate them to make it happen, no matter what the hurdles, no matter what the obstacles may be. Never let the challenges you face in life defeat your spirit. Remain unconquered through thick and thin. And give something back to society through service to your community, as many have done before us. No matter what discipline, no matter how small you believe the contribution to be, we all have valuable assets that may have an incredible impact in someone's life. So I leave you with a poem that we share in our family for many years. It's called Gaining Through Losing. I don't know who the author is. We ask God for strength that we might achieve. We've been made weak that we might learn humbly to obey. We ask for health that we might do greater things. We are given infirmity that we might do better things. We ask for riches that we might be happy. We're given poverty that we might be wise. We ask for power that we might have the praise of men. We've been given weakness that we might feel the need of God. We ask for all things that I might enjoy life. We were given life that we might enjoy all things. We got nothing that we asked for, but everything we hoped for. Almost despite ourselves, our unspoken prayers have been answered, and we, among all people, are most richly blessed. Thank you and congratulations again.
Good afternoon. Trustees, faculty, staff, families, honorary degree recipients, and guests. On behalf of the class of 2018, thank you for being here for us today. To my fellow graduates, do you remember our first day of school? Not at Skidmore, ever. We were young and helpless and could count our age on one hand. Back then, I was nervous about preschool. Coloring and learning and sharing all day just seemed like a lot. For luck and to soothe my nerves, my mom gave me the bandana she wore as a headband. I wore it as a necklace and it hung down to my stomach. When I first came to Skidmore for my Scoop pre-orientation trip, I must have been a little late to check in, because by the time I arrived, there wasn't a dark green Scoop shirt for me. It was a little thing, but like most small things that happen when you're nervous and vulnerable, it made me feel outside the group. Someone found me a shirt, and just like that, I was in. But that's Skidmore. Skidmore is a place of smiles and people saying hi as you walk down Case Walkway, even if you only think you know them, but you really don't. Skidmore is a place of door holders, almost to a fault. Sometimes we hold doors when the next person is still 20 or 50 feet away. Skidmore is a place of people so desperate to get outside with friends that Case Green becomes more crowded than any building the moment the temperature brushes 50 degrees. Skidmore isn't a perfect place, but it's ours. Sometime between wearing my mother's bandana to preschool and coming to Skidmore, I heard a parable about two old friends who were walking along the beach just after a major sea turtle hatching, while birds circled hungrily overhead. Every few steps, one friend would reach down, pick up a baby turtle, and gently toss it into the waves to safety. After some time of walking through the swarm of turtles struggling to the surf, the second friend asked, "What are you doing? There's so many of them, you can't ever save them all. what does it matter? The first friend reached down, picked up another turtle, held it up and said, "It matters to this one," and set it in the waves. In our lives, particularly since we became slightly more independent than preschoolers, we've been both a turtle and a tosser. A few weeks ago, I was finishing up my thesis and preparing for my departmental defense. It was nearing midnight on the night before my presentation, and I was practicing in an empty classroom in LAD. I stepped out to get a drink of water, and when I came back, there was a random first year whom I did not know working in the room. I gently suggested that he might want to leave because I'd probably be distracting as I ran through my presentation, but he said I wouldn't bother him. So, as I had planned, I called my sister and tried to do the presentation over the phone, but it just wasn't working out. So when I hung up the phone, stressed, worn out, and weary, I heard a little voice say, "You can practice to me if you want, Rachel." It was the first-year student whom I had never met offering to help. He listened attentively as I ran through my slides and encouraged me when I needed encouragement. He made me feel more relaxed and ready for the next day. Something about that moment made everything feel all right again. But that's Skidmore. I was mere weeks from graduation, but I was still a turtle. I was a turtle when I was carrying boxes across campus and you held the door for me. I was a turtle when I was having a bad day and you smiled at me. I was a turtle when you invited me to hang out with you and your eclectic first-year friend group in the Johto penthouse to read Yik Yak. I was a turtle when, freshman year, I didn't have a Scoop pre-orientation shirt and you found one for me. I've been a turtle a lot over the past 4 years, but I've also tried to be a tosser. We've all played these roles for each other here at Skidmore. Some 18 years ago, when my mom gave me that bandana, I was the definition of helpless. Today, I walk the stage with one of her bandanas, again, around my neck, though not quite hanging to my stomach anymore. Over the years, you all have helped me so much. Thank you for tossing my turtle self closer to the waves. But I don't think we'll ever stop being turtles, though as we get older and advance along our respective paths, we'll have more chances to be a tosser. I hope we all might use these opportunities as they come, because while we may not be able to help all the turtles in the world, we can help the one in front of us. Congratulations, class of 2018. We did it! As a newly minted graduate, don't be afraid to be a turtle. And, in the Skidmore way, keep a lookout for them, too. Thank you. It is now my honor to introduce Callie Villarosa and Renatu Martins to come talk about senior gift.
Hello, Skidmore community. Our esteemed President Glotzbach, Board of Trustees, faculty and staff, all of the wonderful parents, family members, and friends that are here today, and of course, the graduating class of 2018. My name is Callie Villarosa, and I'm here with Hinatu for 2 reasons. First, as the co-chairs of Senior Gift, a campaign to raise money from the senior class, we are here to announce that after a lot of pink slips and a whole lot of begging for gifts, we have broken the class participation record with 94.9%. That, my friends, is a success. While some of you will leave here still not fully knowing what Senior Gift is, just know that your philanthropy makes a difference, and it shows your commitment and love for the college. But the second reason I'm here is to reflect. 4 years just went by, and we have somehow found ourselves here at graduation. But let's think back, remembering the first day of college, walking into your triple big eyes, hearts racing, or back when all our nights ended at spa, with chicken fingers and a whole lot of dancing. The 9,999 swipes we had at D Hall. So many that we would just go in and socialize, not even eat. Or the long nights during finals when the library will be closing in 10 minutes would bellow over the speakers, and we were left contemplating our life decisions. The relationships fostered with faculty and staff, the walkouts for students at Mizzou and for gun control, the Black Lives Matter vigil, the Ta-Nehisi Coates lecture and 3 generations of Villarosas, the Chance the Rapper concert, the happiness and the tears. This was Skidmore. As a Black Latinx, queer woman, there are times when my consciousness about my belonging in this predominantly white space was ever present because I knew this academic institution wasn't inherently made for my body. I have often been cast as the representative of the quote-unquote Black experience. Still, these moments stood as a learning opportunity for who was not represented. What power I had in my classes, in my friend groups, to call attention to what was overlooked, to redefine what it means to have a safe space and see self-care as productive, to push people to take accountability for their actions. In short, these last 4 years helped me recognize and reclaim my identity and find my voice. So we have all come here from different corners of the country, of the world. We entered young, ready to be filled with knowledge. But as Gloria Anzadula wrote, the knowing is painful because after it happens, you can't stay in the same place and be comfortable. We leave this institution having been challenged. We learn that the world isn't perfect, Skidmore isn't perfect. We learn terms and theories that described our lived experiences, about oppressive systems we are complicit within, that we have perpetuated, that we have internalized, and we also learned to resist. And just as I continue on this journey, so will all of you. I have seen your senior theses, your Tang exhibits, documentaries, and dialogues in which you question the world, in which you claim your space. And class of 2018, you are strong, you are brave, you are powerful. So as we enter the next chapter in our life, we leave here with a community. We leave here both academically and emotionally intelligent, ever complicating and expanding the meaning of intelligence. We leave ready to create change and continue our impact. And always remember our days at Skidmore. Thank you.
Thank you, Callie, and thank you to the Senior Gift Committee for all your hard work this year. And I feel like I should say a couple of names here because these guys work really hard. So please, Rachel Tomir, Alexia Inshuti, Alexandra Dennis, Tommy Kane, Ariane Laptus, Ray Gannesing, Yasmin Kudzi, Bryn Sarner, Chloe Pinkney, Urvi Kaura, Noah Goldblatt, Noah Mishora, Caitlin Schroeder, and so many other absolutely amazing people. You did such a fantastic job. It was a challenge process, and we're so proud of this class. Thank you again. But as Callie said, giving back does make a difference. And I have had the pleasure of experiencing that myself. Growing up in Brazil in a conservative military family that didn't always accept me for who I was, it was hard for me envisioning my future or what would that be. But fortunately, coming to Skidmore, I found a safe space and a family away from home with my fellow international students here at Skidmore. All different worldviews from all the different countries, they have come together to develop my progressive mindset, allowing me to understand and accept myself for multiple reasons, such as my sexual orientation or even for my accent. My journey at Skidmore was not only the most liberating experience of my life, but it also taught me valuable lessons. You may want to be the next Michelle Obama or the next RuPaul or whoever that is, it doesn't matter. But whatever you want, chase after it with everything that you have. Not because you desire the fortune, but because that's what you believe in. Because that's what makes your heart says, that's my dance. And that's what's going to define our generation. When we start to chase and fight for the things that we want to fight for. In high school, I never had the chance to be the person that I am today. And Skidmore taught me this lesson. Find the things that inspire you and stick to them. So fight for them, because that's what's going to change our world. That's what inspires me and inspires each one of you. That's what defines me and our class. They say that life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. But I say that life is what happens when, regardless of what so many people thought of you, you're standing on stage at your college graduation giving a speech to hundreds of people. However, I couldn't finish my speech without acknowledging my parents, who are here all the way from Brazil, probably just nodding their heads and pretending they understand the language. Pai, mãe, eu quero agradecer vocês por tudo. Eu estou aqui porque tive e tenho vocês como meus guias e minhas inspirações. Meu sonho não seria completo sem vocês. Eu te amo. So fellow seniors and now alumni to be, it is time to celebrate. Whatever your next adventure is, we wish you the best of luck. And for Skidmore, it's been real, it's been good. Bye-bye. Thank you.
I want to thank the class of 2018 for the honor of being the faculty speaker. This Skidmore tradition gives a faculty member one last chance to impart a lesson. The good news is, this is the very last time you will be addressed as Skidmore students. The next parts of the program make you alumni and graduates. I spent a lot of time thinking about the topic for today because I want to make the most of this last opportunity to teach the class of 2018. A lot of people told me that I should make a joke about now to loosen things up, but those of you who've had a class with me know that I am terrible at telling jokes, and especially after Dr. Bechdel, I'm not even gonna try. Since I teach classes on campaigns and elections, I was tempted to talk about the political challenges in this country and around the world. But since you know I have trouble staying on schedule in a semester-long course about these topics, there is far too much to cover in the next few minutes. Instead, I'm going to try to offer a final review session for your 4 years at Skidmore. A simple view of education is that it is about learning to find the right answer. Learning to find the right way to do things. 2 + 2 = 4, when to use a semicolon, how to use a microscope, a telescope, or a stethoscope. Your time here at Skidmore has expanded those types of skills and knowledge. But a Skidmore education is about so much more than that. A great deal will change in the future. You will have to learn new skills. You will have to add new knowledge. In just a few years, many of you will be doing jobs that have not yet been invented. As you moved through Skidmore, you took more and more courses where there was no right answer. You discussed and debated. You theorized, interpreted, estimated, and analyzed. But there was no answer key in the back of the book to tell you whether you were right about what you said, calculated, or created. As Skidmore graduates, you will find more and more situations where there is no right answer. There is no textbook. There's not even a reading assignment. It is not a homework assignment or an exam. It is life. Your career, your family, your community will depend on finding the best possible answer. This is why, in every class you have taken at Skidmore, there has been a central theme, sometimes overt, sometimes hidden, the simple and universal idea that creative thought matters. Now I know I make as many jokes about creative thought matters as most of you do, but I will let you in on a secret. Creative thought matters is at the heart of the liberal arts education that my colleagues and I have tried to instill in you in every class. Creative thinking matters in every field. Creating an art portfolio, modeling chemical reactions, writing poetry, developing a business plan, mastering a foreign language. In my own classes, finding ways to increase voter turnout, creating better campaign strategy, developing political behavior experiments, even solving statistics programs. The substance is different, but the creative thinking, the need for creative thinking, is the same. I will tell you another secret now that you are done with classes. The real point of your classes for the last 4 years was not what was on the syllabus. The lectures, the readings, assignments, tests, papers, portfolios, performances were all just a ploy. Don't panic, the last 4 years was not a waste of time and money. The skills and knowledge that you learned were important, but the real point of those classes was something that will be much more valuable in the years ahead. The goal of Skidmore's liberal arts education is to teach you how to think for yourself, how to learn, how to solve new problems with new ideas. In short, we try to teach you to think creatively. Life will require countless decisions. Sometimes it will be easy to tell the good choice from the bad choices, but life requires many choices where there is no good option. One choice will require you to give up something else that you want. Worse still, some decisions appear to offer you only bad and worse options. I call these grown-up decisions, and you are now grown-ups if you weren't already. When you are inevitably faced with one of those grown-up decisions, creative thought matters to help you find the best decision. It will help you find better options. It will help you find better ways to make decisions. When you meet the big challenges that life will bring, what you know probably won't matter much. Creative thought matters to finding the best possible choice. A moment ago, I said that this was a review session for every course you have taken. How can that possibly be true for all 35 academic majors completed by the class of 2018? How can that possibly be true for every class you have taken at Skidmore? Let me ask you a few questions. And if you think creative thought matters, just shout it out. If you want to create works of art and literature that move and inspire, creative thought. Okay, wait a second. You guys have been doing this for 4 years. You know this is Skidmore. We expect class participation. And remember, you haven't gotten the diploma yet. We still can, okay. So let's try that again. If you want to create works of art and literature that will move and inspire, to make scientific breakthroughs that will help us survive and thrive, to build businesses that will bring security and prosperity to you, your family, and your community, to be a good friend, partner, spouse, sibling, child, and eventually maybe parent. To serve, to teach, to bring justice and fairness to your community. To raise our standard of living and save the planet. To move towards equality by lifting everyone up and tearing no one down. To make progress where we are still short of our ideals and to conserve what is good about our world. You came together as the class of 2018 from many places, from many walks of life. You have many differences, but you have made a community that Rachel and Callie and Renatu just spoke about so eloquently. It is not perfect, but through your hard work, we are headed in the right direction. As you move on to new communities around the country and around the world, you are representatives of Skidmore, and this carries a responsibility of citizenship and leadership. Citizenship and leadership can be messy, unpleasant, and hard work, but it is important. Engaging in your community, no matter where you call home, can and will affect every part of your life. Failing to engage is a choice to leave your fate and the fate of those you love in someone else's hands. Skidmore has prepared you to make a different choice. Our society and our political system work when people engage. We may not know the right answers. Even when we agree on the goal, there's never one answer about how to get there. You will not get everything you want, but you can make things better. The important thing is that we never shy away from the challenges, that we find the best answer possible. I've taught students in the class of 2018 who have worked with candidates and organizations across the political spectrum, working on every type of issue. Your willingness to work hard to improve our community from local to global is far more important than your differences. No matter where your community is, no matter where you stand on the political spectrum, if we want to meet the political and social challenges today, creative thought matters. On behalf of my colleagues on the faculty, we look forward to you showing that creative thought matters in making the world a better place for us all. Congratulations and thank you.
He's taller than I am. But you people are looking mighty good out there, so if you will indulge me, I would like to do, oh, not a picture of myself, God, no. Mistake. Smile. So hello, everyone. I am Sybil Waterman-Haley, and I am from the great class of 1971. Thank you. And I am president of the Skidmore College Alumni Association. This will be the last hand to shake yours as you cross this stage. Don't race past me, I even have a gift for you. And here you all are, the great class of 2018. Are you happy? Are you ready? Are you primed to celebrate? Are you poised for the next adventure? Are you ready to get out of this place? Well, though you may be happy and ready and primed and poised for the future, please do this for yourselves. Today, slow down before you leave our campus. Pause to remember who you were while you were here. Slow down and look at your friends, your professors, those who have touched you during the past 4 years. Don't race away too quickly. Slow down and take a moment to let it all sink in. Be proud of your hard work, your accomplishments, the fun you've had. Yes, that too. How you've grown, the education you have received at our college. Slow down and be proud. And as you've now joined the hurly-burly of the grown-up world, come back. Come back for reunions in the spring. Come back for homecoming in the fall. Keep the connection. You'll discover the strong bonds among Skidmore alumni, and we are everywhere, all over the world. We are eager to meet you. We're eager to assist you with careers or socially. We're waiting. For once you leave this stage, you join me, how lucky are you, and more than 38,000 other graduates as members of the Skidmore College Alumni Association. Come find us. We're here for you today and for the rest of your lives. And as your busy lives swirl you around, stay involved with Skidmore as an alum. Volunteer. Join our regional alumni groups, our committees, our boards. Your time and involvement are such valuable contributions. We need you. And as you go forward, please remember to help make it possible for potential future Skidmore students to have the opportunities you have enjoyed. Your generosity can make that happen. Remember, the worth of your Skidmore diploma is as great as is the support you are able to provide to the place which gave it to you. Please give back. So slow down, look back, come find us, get involved, give back. And now, congratulations and cheers to the great class of 2018. And now your fabulous adventures begin.
Thank you, Sybil.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please rise? President Glotzbach, I present to you the candidates for the degree of the Bachelor of Arts.
By virtue of the authority of the State of New York vested by the Regents in the trustees of Skidmore College and by them delegated to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts and declare you fully entitled to all of the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Graduates, please move your tassels from right to left and approach the stage.
All right, we'll see.
Rachel Patricia Campbell Tomir. Callie Villarosa.
Renato Martins Dornelas.
Alexia Muhire Nshuti.
Bryn Tatiana Sana.
Rafaela Iturralde.
Irvi Kalra.
Langa Bakaruma Incube.
Kara Rose Vogel.
Layla Mariah Morgan.
Mackenzie Bridger Brewer Little.
Isabel Lynn Alley.
Louise Grace Sullivan.
Silvana Ruby Finn.
Zoe Tess Resnick.
Christopher Kiyun Bernardi.
Tessa Marie Minardi.
Anya Lisa Goldman.
James Joseph Gallardi.
Jordan Harris Shadrovsky.
William James Hudson.
Devin Alexander Kilburn.
Signa Lansepmo.
Marion Varadyan.
Chloe Grace Pinkney.
Wallace Slater.
Wen Hoi Zhao.
Isabella Sofia Hernandez.
Rachel Marie Licata.
Sadie Lewis.
Julia Emmeline Sprenger.
Sophia Jane Biber.
Lucy Morris Consagra.
Phoebe Eve Toll.
Nora Rose Faber. Jack Morrison Spiegelman. Hey. Christopher Francis Valley. Keenan Bartlett.
Lucas O'Brien Calzini. Harrison Rollison Hale. There we go.
David Frederick Stevenson.
Joshua Gabriel Hannon.
Zachariah Winslow Arnold.
Jason Elias Block.
Ricardo Brian Rios.
Caitlin Paulina Wolf.
Beatriz Alejandra Chavez.
Jacob Daniel Kennengeiser.
Lucas Sebastian Rueda.
Alexander Norman Farkas.
Simon Kane.
Henry Owen Hoffman. Margot Savannah Lee Friedman.
Nicole Quinn Werner.
Emma Louise Sturdivant.
Anna Rachel Margolis.
Nicole Patricia Moores.
Christy Bottomley.
Laura Ann Pearson. Denise Stephanie Alarcon.
Hannah Miller.
Isabel Fisher.
Alexis Shea Cantor.
Rachel Mariah Turk.
Abigail Peace Gramalia.
Olivia Noel Hammond.
Eliza Nell Middlestead.
Ian Morton Daly.
Monica Rose Horowitz.
Rachel Mackenzie Rest.
Claire Ann Johnson.
Beryl Eve Rosenblum.
Caleb Weiss.
Zachary Charles Zeller.
Zoe LeQuarrie McGuire.
Claudia Lamberti.
Jemima Cochran.
Kristen Elizabeth Dunleavy.
Maria Leon Lee Juan Glander.
Rebecca Ann Kazis Walker.
Madison Reed Lyman.
Celie Bach Fancher.
Teresa Louise Dow.
Brianna Park Cochran.
Christina Marie Sanzari.
Elizabeth Merritt Farrell.
Gabriela Teresa Ponzini.
Ruby Siegel.
Samuel Xavier Hudchak.
Anne Mahoney Hill.
Rose Caitlin O'Connor.
Hannah Corsi Nall.
Jamie Nicole Elsner.
Ella J. Amaral Lavoy.
Madeline Claire Thevenin King.
Alexandra Balitzi Fall.
Ariel Brooke Zoland.
Daisy Calkins.
Erin Elizabeth Maloney.
Robin Sticks.
Alexandra Baldwin Dennis.
Marie Elizabeth Jacobson.
Mary Caitlin Cook.
Kalina Catherine Moore.
Laura Hines.
Henry Cooley.
Nicholas Claude De Palma.
Sierra Renee Carlin.
Clovis Sky Jiha.
Sebastian Strong.
Emily Lynn Sater.
Alessandra Marie Canario.
Hannah Lynn Novak.
Michael Daniel Lannon.
Finn Eric Westergren.
James Lawrence Martucci.
Pasquale Alexander Tosto.
Joshua William McClellan Karen.
Natalie Claire Sternberg.
Timothy Edgware Spencer.
Thomas Peter Kane.
Jackson Dean Benarush.
Kevin Shablick Santos.
Brennan Daniel Mitrolka.
Georgios Patakis.
Rachel Jordan Flammy.
Jessica Oiagi.
Jeffrey Dingler.
Noah Binder Maltzman.
Gabriel David Snyder.
Courtney Paige Pluti.
Joshua Srinivas Krishna Kalu.
Jasmine Marlena Tule.
Lisani Mansueta.
Danielle Hollander.
Jessica Rose Shapiro.
Megan Lee McDonald.
Leonardo de Jesus Oliveira.
Andreas Beltre.
Rebecca Wales.
Caitlin Marie Schroeder.
Jillian Chingxia Siegel.
Miller Young Fina.
Alexandra Egan Mahoney.
Sarah Walensky.
Genesis Moran Guerrero.
Noshin Hotaki.
Jillian Ellis Musman.
Jeffrey Jadeofor Okoro. Ahmed Ishmael.
Jacob Cody Lahesa.
Emmeline O'Connor.
Caroline Norton Finnegan.
Marissa Christine Capone.
John William Curry.
Khalil Shukair.
Elena Antiles.
Nicholas McWhorter.
Ryan Michael Hall.
Anna Francis Parsons.
Caldania Noland.
Donna Elizabeth Nguyen.
Spencer Joseph Adams Rand.
Martine Podolsky.
Brianne Luce Cook.
Henry Koskarian Thoreen.
Benjamin Charles Woodhouse Curl.
Sjoerd de Jong Kelderman.
Joseph Alexander Colangeli.
William Harrison Scott.
George Royal Brown.
Devon Connell.
Alistair Lane Canavan.
Julia Louise Rendell.
Bailey Wilmot.
Alexandra Alice Clendenin.
Amanda Lauren Muir.
Magdalene Elise Geip.
Jacob Barba.
Emilio Salzman.
Leonard Alexander Korf.
Benjamin Carl Eskin Shapson.
Andrew Wayne Riggs.
Connor Robert Hagley.
Chen Lin.
Sijia Fan.
Yao Song Yu.
John Christopher McGelgan.
Wesse Dolma.
Isabel Christine Novel Fabella.
India Margot Schley Ritchie.
Kalika Liki.
Lisa Melalani Chen.
Brian Patrick McQuaid.
Ha Yun Chang.
Wallace Ann Cloud.
Jenna Nicole McCready.
Sarah Marie Fontana.
Chloe Helen Green.
Anthony Arthur Miller.
Julia Grace Howe.
George Shakalos.
Devin Hosevar Smith.
Cove Mason Janeski.
Alexandra Georgina Tremblay McCaw.
Yutong Ju.
Xinyue Ma.
Yija Lee.
Shilin Yao.
Julia Kelly Kavicki.
Mara Lindsay Steinmetz.
Ann Teresia Pfeifenberger.
Gabrielle Elizabeth Valentine Mascarin.
Laura Gabriela Noehovich.
Eleanor Jean Ritter.
Bruce Stagg Martin.
Storm Asia Piram.
Killian Justice Grider.
Joseph Michael Doino.
Kelly Ann Platt.
Grace Lynn Hill.
Eric Reed.
Fortune Munyaradzi Zindi.
Corey Evan Brown.
Emil Raphael Gitman Jilks.
Jeremy Tenenbaum.
Mohammed Mia.
Alison Ungaro.
Morgan Shannon Smith.
Henry Solomon Jaffe.
Daniel John Casarella.
Jennifer Ann Cristiano.
Madeline Rose Weeby.
Tracy Wingate.
Emma Page Waldman.
Amy Zung.
Deborah Kim.
Kelly Ann Cantwell.
Christina Foley.
Lisette Aurelia Roman Johnson.
Connor Andrew Batsom.
Douglas Joseph Patrick.
Henry Turner.
Daniela Cosio.
Jillian Strelekis.
Helena Meyer.
Allison Fagan Trunke.
Eli Rolkapatane.
An Khan Fee.
Alexander Marinaro Smith.
Eric John Deutsch.
Ruth Ferry.
Mackenzie Hope Haskell. There you go. Rachel Sylvia Golden.
Karen Jean Nolan.
Carolyn Kestner.
Rachel Payne.
Anna Michelle Garfinkel.
Audrey Hecker Clark.
Lauren Catherine Berry Kagan.
Alexander John McPhee.
Benjamin Michael Tuck.
Cameron English.
Julia May Kelleher.
Ryan Toma.
Brian Walako.
Dante Tobar.
Benjamin Allen Juno.
Joffrey Harrison Green.
William Stewart Brzee.
George Nicholas Pisano.
Maurice Richard Adams Robinson.
Byron Poplawski.
There we go. Jason Thomas Sutherland.
Enrico Valentino Patarini.
Brendan Altieri.
Jonathan Patrick Wabel.
Catherine Bird.
Karabo Masola.
Joshua Ryan Sager.
Olivia Skivoronsky.
Lindsay Joanne Paremba.
Yedili Janao Perez.
Samuel Melliker.
Hong Chao Lee.
Martha Elizabeth Alum.
Elliot Karen Vera.
Nathaniel White.
Reed Eugene Logan.
Christopher John Ostashevsky.
Natalie Marie Stewart.
Juliette Elizabeth Douglas.
Taylor Elizabeth Goodwill.
Callie Fox.
Angelia McPartlin.
George Bernard Adamy.
Lucas Pickering. Brian James Hall. Carl Grithrin Vaness. Connor Paul Christopherson.
Benjamin Alexander Rudman.
Benjamin Charles Ginsberg.
Mercy Brewster Payne.
Paul Henry Lipinski.
Erin Nicole Silgardo.
Janine Marie Critchkow.
Alexandra Ann Hartman.
Katria Ann O'Shaughnessy.
Lauren Ely.
Sabrina Das.
Elise Tierney.
Tabitha Ilse Krondorfer.
Anna Sophia Reisner.
Ariane Reed Lapidus.
Julia Alikani Cohen.
Hannah Mary Ellen Hoey.
Sampriti Thapa.
Alyssa Lauren Bueno.
Brian Matthew Roberge.
Michael DeWitt Barry.
Kira Michelle Geary.
Emma Sophia Bloom.
Clara Jessie Jones.
Julian Murphy.
Kirill Joseph Gillespie. Miguel Angel Martinez.
Jacques Edward Phelps.
Isaac Arkady Selchafe.
Jillian McMillan Thornton.
Megan Frances Long.
Isabella Addison Feldman.
Hannah Rose Fowler.
Sinchin Lord.
Dick Fong Leong.
Suheng Zhao.
Shunfei Zhang.
Yuteng Mei.
Camilla Hagerman.
Christian Michael McVeary.
Shuijun Wu.
Shunyu Wan.
Yuanding Chen.
Guanliang Chen.
Nathaniel Lynn Raymer.
Emily Alice Williams.
Carly Christina Rasmussen.
Raymond Yapolsky.
Catherine Claire Shu.
Iman Alexandra Bays.
Beatrice Tan Suban.
Skylar Augustus Forhouse Burbank.
Taylor Louise Forhouse Burbank.
Olivia Ruth Cox.
Layla Walker.
Emily Bridget Eileen Ma.
Sarah Frances Jensen.
Leah Felicitos Mirani.
Chloe Elizabeth Singer.
Anna Sosa.
Ruby Rosebud Thompson.
Kira Ann Vom Eigen.
Olivia Kathleen Golden.
Elizabeth Jing Williams.
Sophia Dorothy Moritz.
Hannah Gussin Zinka.
Emily Rose Walter.
Benjamin Benham Kale.
Sophie Elizabeth Heath.
Yesenia Olivares.
Go ahead. Madeline Elliott.
Brittany Kent.
Ari Bogum Shannon.
Fortuna Sissoko.
Akalia Morgan.
Olivia Irby.
Harry Risolio.
Tim Locke Wilbert Chan.
Matthew Joseph Mayu.
John William Rivad Richardson.
Saeed Ibrahim bin Nujam Shah.
Eleuterio Martinez Ramirez.
Miari Ambenitsoa Rasonevo.
Tongjian Shio.
Charles David Goldberg.
Shankar Mani.
Eric Lee Mandich.
Andrew Akins.
Antonio D'Alessandro.
Dylan John Francis Quinn.
Abigail Jean Ranger.
Michael Paul Fogarty.
Eve Isabel Stewart.
Emily Kerrigan Rizzo.
Diana Catherine Washington.
Jamie De La Cruz.
Jada James.
Kylie Mackenzie Crow.
Hillary Ramirez Perdomo.
Alyssa Ray Morales.
Ashley Polanco.
Kira Ning Sternberg.
Xavier Dabas Burrell.
Charles Isaiah Clayton.
I'll do it. Ramon Akeem Daya.
Raleigh Marlon Russell.
Saeed Shaquem Joseph.
Mandy Mapes.
Edson Acosta.
Nicholas Whitaker Papazian.
Henry Philip Tizard.
Great job. You can just hold it like that. That's probably easier for you than reaching back.
Okay.
And I'll just snag it out of your hand. So you just hold it up and I'll snag it. Because this rope gets a little. Yep, so just hold it right up.
Tell them to sit down, right? You be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science please rise? President Glotzbach,
I present to you the candidates for the degree of the Bachelor of Science.
By virtue of the authority of the state of New York vested by the regents and the trustees of Skidmore College and by them delegated to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science and declare you fully entitled to all of the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Graduates, please move your tassels from right to left and approach the stage.
Andrew Mai.
Andre Mark Toluca.
Rachel Elizabeth Sprague.
Sarah Slee Jarvis.
Sophie Judy Karen Parks.
Nika Madeleine Del Borgo.
Juliet Jordan Romano.
Amanda Wade.
Zachary Edward Dolinuk.
Natalie Ann Plotkin.
Allison Kathleen Milazzo.
Andeshe Rachel Kabiri Mogadam.
Jack Anthony Morrow.
Benjamin Hirsch Lockheim.
Caroline Alexandra Soros.
Chelsea Gunzner.
Ariana Lee Fastini.
Kelly Donnelly.
Veronica Mosseri.
Caitlin Opfer. Luke Alethauser.
Travis Michael Kaufman.
Jacob Palka Hudson.
Shannon Elizabeth Kelly.
Siyu Chen.
Ran Tao.
Cindy Shin Yu.
Allison Abrams.
Song Huang.
Josephine Huang.
Yasmin Mariam Kudzi.
Olga Loy Kanyansi.
Kaylee Holland.
Malika Ucharia.
Simran Devon Shah.
Cecilia Fu.
Sophie Claire Staton.
Julie Louise Simca Seytoun.
Anne Morford.
Nicholas Alex Solomon.
Vanna Michelle Ramirez.
Noel Christiane Foden Bensel.
Anna Carlisle Reeves.
Antonia Marie Noni Benson.
Paul Jinho Yoon.
Amy Sutherland.
Romario Barnes.
Rebecca McFarland Gracie.
Kara Mallory Powell.
Kristen Ann Mulranen.
Erica Zippel Schnitzer.
Samantha Hannah Grant.
Rebecca Mary Ravezi.
Chloe Elizabeth Brush.
Naomi Sarah First.
Kyle Edward Ferris.
Maxwell Benjamin Hellbroom.
Peter Califano.
Maya Stepanovich.
Christina Lewis Charles.
Mariam Aisha Kayla DeWitt.
Brianna Marie Green.
Abigail Marie Feast.
Rebecca Caroline Fawcett.
Christian Patrick Lee.
Stephen Carlos Enriquez.
Michael Thomas Foley.
Andreas Michaelitis.
Kenny Seth Nelson.
Sean Keenan Timmons.
Connor Pelkey.
John Sloan.
Talia Marie Ruta.
Ethan Bunker Brasso.
Elena Esther Cruz Allen.
Caitlin Emily Chen.
Spencer Cole Greenberg.
Molly Ray Lockwood.
Theodore Davis Raziunas.
Ricky Blakesberg.
Atlan Tenok Aseo Witzel.
Morgan Dagnacourt.
Jane Moretta Miller.
Carol Lisbeth Morales.
Reese John Fulmer.
Zachary William Jones.
Iman Afzal.
Caleb Snyder.
Mackie Kenneth Howe.
Rowan Isaiah Callahan.
Jonathan Alexi Green.
Kaylee Riddle Balkan.
Gloria Gao.
Chenxiu Chung.
Samuel Paul Shout.
Dennis Paul Biglin.
Joseph Warner.
Sayan Robert Ahmed.
Nicholas Corrado Fronti. Kayla Michelle Rose. Kelsey Cashin Demby. Hayden Chester Smith. Austin Albertson. Sean Alexander Clyer.
Ryan Knox Hill.
Raymond Clark Neeson.
Luke Scott Hirschhorn.
David William Schechter.
Alexa Gabrielle Goldberg.
Raina Simone Doughty.
Amanda Shepard Hilton.
Molly Ann Zolo Venicek.
Emma June Megan.
Olivia Marie Iannotti.
Annabelle Rachel Milton.
Adina Kruskal.
Mira Lamson Klein.
Ekaterina Serge.
Natasha June Demick.
Nicola Cetera.
Christopher Anthony Monaco.
Lydia Elizabeth Hubrex.
Nicole Gerbush.
Iana Sibel Weingrad.
Jessica Tilly Kogan.
Nola Jean Duncan.
Rachel Beth Karp.
Lily Rosemary Kemp.
Sydney Grace Tennant.
Ziggy Elizabeth Shooting.
Amanda Lee Carilli.
Shadman Shaheen Shom.
Graham Mitchell Gilmore.
Nicholas Paulty Glomo.
Dhruv Singh.
Noam Ellen Calm.
Noah John Duran.
Stelianos Hector Coloris.
Benjamin Noah Marks.
Edward Ross Berkowitz.
Julianne Wing Yi Persina.
Danielle Margaret Gianetti.
Kevin Bennigan McCauley.
Patrick Morton Cohen.
Taylor Hope Salvatore.
Celia Isabel Mahefka.
Xiaoying Chao.
Junjia Chi.
Sishuan Gong.
Yuruo Zhang.
Cecilia Bayard Smith.
Emily Barth.
Joanna Elizabeth Kaplan.
Andrea Rose Tian.
Mia Elizabeth Zillahy.
Samuel Wilfred Lodge.
Logan Polsinello.
Casey Michelle Adanito.
Pauline Emmanuel Dent.
James Jerry Calzalayo.
Temba Simpiwe Michael Shongwei.
Augustine Okoye.
Chidubem Kenichiuru Udioji.
Phoebe Cordelia Burton.
Noah Solomon Goldblatt.
William Samuel Berg.
Let's go, Berg.
Christian Ernest.
Spencer John Lowry.
Isabel Francoise Albin.
Jennifer Ann Cerruti.
Leah Glickman.
William Garrett Winter V.
Daniel John Hunt.
Andrew David Doyle Prezinda.
Julia Karp.
Andrew Russell Hochberger.
Joseph Rocco Stagliano.
Spencer J. Brackfeld.
Alex Matias.
Michelle Lee.
Nicholas Barnett Ullman.
Alexis Nicole Wilt.
Catherine Alexis Koch.
Carly Robinson.
Marielle Estrella.
Brianna Hassel.
Daniela Altagracia Miranda.
Astrid Christabel Rodriguez.
Jason Bordier.
Gabrielle Colette Pagnosi Schwam.
Anna Lenika Shanker.
Johnny Joanny Rivera Herman.
Hannah Lynn Wilson.
Emily Woodward Morton.
Philip Kane.
Emily Burnett.
Kevin Kingpak Tan.
Zoel May Castilla.
Alyssa Christine Rollins.
Julia Lynn Leslie.
Erica Jacqueline Mino.
Michelle Elizabeth Fuca.
Haley Nicole Lang.
Isabel Grace Bertolozzi.
Rachel Anna Rosenfeld.
Eleanor Sherlock Green.
Elisa Jean Smith.
Jacqueline Emma Trubihoy.
Christopher Mark Bond.
Brendan Taylor Halloran.
Ronald Caruso.
Peterborough Brian Lonergan.
Tate Smith.
Nikolai Avakian.
Emily Catherine Schlicht.
Christopher Meligan.
Amelia Steger.
Ryan Christopher Warnock.
Noah Mai Mashur.
Kimberly Ellen Audrain.
Andrew James DeStefano.
Ian McCormack Mag.
Joshua Clark Worley.
William Potto.
Class of 2018, you are a lively bunch. It's good. On behalf of the trustees, the faculty, the staff of Skidmore College, I salute you, graduates. Again, the class of 2018. Skidmore is not just a place where you've gone to school, it is now part of your identity. It is part of who you are. We always will care about you. So let us continue to help you when we can, and make sure that we hear about your triumphs so that we can celebrate them with you. Above all, stay connected. Stay connected. Following the singing of the alma mater, I ask that parents, family members, and friends please remain in your seats until the recessional is finished. Because the grass is still wet and slippery, we are going to process inside. So graduates, when you leave your places, just go up to the top of the auditorium, and parents and family, you can connect up there, you can meet. Everyone is cordially invited to attend a post-commencement reception at Murray Aikens Dining Hall from 2 to 4. And now please stand for the singing of your alma mater.
Two measures of two. Two measures of two. Two measures of two. Two measures of two. 1, 2, 2.
Skidmore, we rejoice to sing thy praise. Hail